We've had some good work. We've got a long way to go, so I'm glad we don't play for a bit. We have a lot of work to do, especially on the defensive side, uh, defending Tech's offense. So got a lot to do, a lot of work to do, but the attitude's been good, and glad to get finals over with and get our full concentration on this game prep.
Yeah, with the recruiting dead period now and finals over, how does it change things?
Yeah, it changes to where we could concentrate 100% on what we're doing, and that's getting ready for Tech. So both the players and the coaches. So that definitely is a lot better for us in our preparation and not being divided with all the recruiting.
Obviously, you can't get specific, but this recruiting little business since you beat Louisville, has things really changed for you? Just general comment?
General comment. I feel like we've always had a good pulse on recruiting, and things were going well for us, and it definitely didn't hurt. That's for sure.
Sound like a poker player.
Yeah. Well, because I think we were doing good no matter what, but again, it has to help.
Mark, how much of the offensive change, obviously when Drew went down, you guys had to retool a lot of things. How impressive is it what Eddie and Darren were able to do, just sort of flipping everything when they did? And when did you guys decide that was the way you had to go?
As far as the offense, yeah, I think they did a really good job. We talked about it all year. I thought the coaches did an excellent job of putting our players in position. We talked about the right recipe for both sides of the ball to be successful. And, we kind of worked our way through that early on. Once Drew got hurt, we started evolving to the offense that we really liked at the end of the year. I think we all liked the way we were playing. It helps us across the board. It helps us with our team as we move forward, being physical, being able to run the ball, and being able to defend the run. It helps your football team. So it's been a good change.
I know you talked a little bit about an interview the other day, but for those of us who weren't there, what's the conversations with Eddie about keeping him around, new contract, all those situations?
Oh, I just said that we were he and I have talked, and we're both on the same page. We don't have everything ironed out specifically to this point, but he and I, we're on a plane together and traveling for a bunch, and so we've been in touch quite a bit. We don't need to talk about it every day. We have a understanding that we're going to iron something out here pretty quick.
What does it do for your program when they're like Snell makes freshman All-American?
I think it helps us a great deal. I think it's impressive to have a true freshman do that, and hopefully it'll excite some other recruits to come here and have an opportunity to play early. And it just goes to show you, because that's a position where we were very deep, but the best players are going to play.
What does it say about your all's evaluation? I mean, he wasn't a guy who had a ton of stars or all that, but you saw him early and saw something in him that maybe other people didn't.
Yeah, we did. I think our staff has done that over the years. You've seen that where maybe early on, we may get a guy committed and doesn't have a whole bunch of stars, but by the time he comes out, he's ready to play. And I think Benny is another great example of that, where our coaches just did our evaluation of him, and we were very excited about him all along. And he's been steady. He was steady with us through the process, and we were very steady with him, and it's been very good.
You said you used A.J. Rose as a scout team quarterback when you were preparing for Louisville. Is he a guy that can step in and be a scout team quarterback, maybe preparing for Georgia Tech?
He is. Yeah, he is. He's doing it right now as well. Yep. So he's got the quicks. He's a big, strong guy, but he's also very elusive.
Is this a fair analogy when you're trying to get your kids to get a feel for their option? Is it almost like learning a foreign language because it's so odd and you're not used to it? These kids are not used to it?
It is very different. It is different. It's nothing like a zone read option or anything like that, or any option we've seen this year. It's totally different. So, yeah, like I said, I think it's very important that we have some extra time. It takes a while just to get your scout team to give you a decent look. And, you got to get some guys that can really move there. That I think when you watch them, they're so skilled at what they do. And you look at their offensive line, they're skilled at their skill positions, but their offensive line moves exceptionally well. Those guys run, and they make it hard on you, so we've got a lot of work to do.
Well, obviously, have a lot of expectations for Courtney Love going into the year, leadership and all those things. How have you seen him progress over the course of the season?
I think he's been very steady. He gives you everything he has. It's very important to him, and he's very steady when it comes to the things you talked about right there when it comes to leadership. and coming to practice every day with the right mindset, the right attitude, and being a leader and being important to him. He's exceptional. On the field, he's had some good and some bad, and he'll continue to get better with more experience.
You guys lost Reggie. You lost almost your entire front line. Going into the season, did you expect them to be playing this well together? What do you think was sort of the turning point for the defensive line?
Well, I think we all know that we needed to play better, and as we talked about early on with the inexperience and there was just a lot of things that we needed to get better at, and they did. I think it comes, it starts with coming to practice every day with the right attitude to improve and get better, and technique-wise, the coaches working extremely hard with them, playing within the scheme, and a lot of things. But I'm pleased with the way we progressed. I think we still got a lot to improve on, and we will. But they've done some really good things, and we need to play well in this game.
For the first time in a long time, you're going to have a lot of those guys back. You're not having a full turnover again. How nice is that going into next year, knowing that?
Oh, it's very important, and I think we got to continue to recruit guys, and it's not a good feeling, being thin at any position, in particular the defensive line. That's not a good place to be thin and or inexperienced. So hopefully we're going to continue to recruit really well and develop our guys and have some bodies to work with there.
Jimmy said he thought the biggest surprise this year for him was Adrian Middleton. Was there a guy that you really were surprised by that's made a move?
I may agree. We needed him. We had to have him play well, and he really stepped up and did some good things.
With the few starters you do lose on both sides of the ball, do you use these practices to start looking at options to replace those guys, or do you wait until the spring mostly?
No, we do. We definitely work the threes or the redshirt guys into practices every day. So, we go today, we go some good on good. So we do some physical contact where it's team run, good on good. So we're working the redshirt guys in there. So I want to know coming out of this bowl practice what we have in, getting ready for spring and what they look like. So, we definitely work with them.
Mark, how often, if ever, do you ever talk to another coach about a particular scheme? And now that you have more time to prepare for it, it happens to be tech, are you making more calls, or you don't make any calls? You trust yourself, or you have friends who have seen this maybe more frequently than you have, even though you've seen it?
Yeah, we definitely do. We reach out and talk with coaches about this scheme. Yes, since we do have time, it's bowl season and last week and all that, we definitely do. We definitely lean on our experience and what we've done. A big part of that will be what we did at Florida State and how we defended them, and then how they change or ways to evolve or way to improve from there. But the base principles, we had some success with at Florida State, and we'll stay with that.
They decided to move the spring game to nighttime. How much of a say did you have in that? Was that something you wanted to do or thought would be?
Yeah, I meant to talk to Tony about that. We discussed that, and I put the stamp OK on that, but I didn't know it was finalized until I saw it on Twitter.
Seriously?
It came out of your account.
Well, I have bosses too. Rezowitz and Bafano and all those guys. So. Yeah.
Was that a recruiting idea, or is that? What's the reason behind that?
We had just looked at the schedule. We talked about getting a night game, and hopefully getting some fans in there and getting some recruits in town. So it was just a different option, and maybe not having as many games on that night as there is on the following Saturday.
You talked a little bit about some of the players that might think about leaving early and waiting for the NFL to, send grades or however the process works. What's the timeline like for that, and when do you hear back from the NFL and stuff like that?
Yeah, we'll hear back before the bowl game on some guys. So right after the bowl game, we'll try to get serious with the players that may be thinking about that and give them as much information as they could have to make a informed decision.
How many do you have that are interested in information?
Not very many, to be honest with you, just a few.
What will the schedule be for guys next week around the holiday with you all with practice and then getting back to go to the bowl?
Next week we will practice. We're practicing every day. So days today, Friday. So we go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then they break Wednesday the 21st, and they'll go home. And then they'll either report back here and go with us on the 26th, or they will meet us down there.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.